Hello, Two-Ton here. I'm coming to you with episode 3 of my podcast. Thanks for joining me. How's everybody doing? It is Saturday, August 9th, just about 7 p.m. in the evening, and kind of been a weird day. I don't know, gonna be honest, it's been really weird. My father was sick a while ago and he got out of the hospital and he's doing better, and now my mother is sick, and so it's been kind of crazy. You know, my folks are in their 70s, and they've been having some health issues, so we all got something we're dealing with, and lately I've been worried about my parents. So but I'm here with the new episode. This one is called Close Call. Today I'm going to talk about one of the things that probably the main thing that got me really focused and geared at least a couple of years ago to try and really get back on track with my health and my weight, and that is congestive heart failure. I was 550 at my heaviest, but at the time of this, I had already lost some weight from the heaviest I was at, which was probably 2020, 2021. So I was losing some weight over time, but this is all, the heart failure took place in March of 2022. So basically, I'm going to dive into how it happened, how close I came to leaving this world, and the immediate ramifications afterwards. But, congestive heart failure is no joke. It's something, it's not a huge thing that is a threat to me right now because I'm a lot healthier and my heart's pretty strong. But like the episode title says, close call. This was a very close call. And I didn't realize until afterwards just how close it was. But essentially, right after Christmas of 2021, I kind of went I really tried to go hardcore, on a new diet. Holidays, you gain the weight. I went up from Thanksgiving to Christmas. I must have gone up 10, 15 pounds. So I was really trying to watch what I ate, and I was doing really good for a month or so. And I got my weight down to about 470 by the end of January 2022. And in the beginning of February of 22, I started kind of getting tired and lethargic, and I was having trouble breathing, and I was dizzy, and I wasn't sleeping good. And it was kind of probably right around Valentine's Day of 22, maybe sometime around there. I started to notice my weight was going up quickly. No matter what I ate, I was trying to exercise. It was really hard, but I was, sometimes I would go a day or two without eating because I was trying to lose weight, and the weight was going up and up and up. So, in the weeks leading up to my birthday in mid-March, I was struggling to move and breathe. My wife was pushing me to see a doctor, and I kind of resisted a little bit, because I was just stubborn and stupid. I was a fucking idiot. I couldn't walk from the kitchen to the bathroom without getting winded. It was really bad, really bad. So I wasn't sleeping. Was having lots of gastrointestinal issues, constipation, and some diarrhea was going back and forth. I'm sure you're all super fucking excited to hear me share that with you. But anyway, it's part of the story. I was having lots of issues. Then around the 20th of March, I think, 21st, I was in the kitchen making some coffee, and I could barely stand. My legs were weak, and I was breathing heavy, and my wife said I was getting pale, and she's like, okay, we need to go to the ER. It's time to go. So, excuse me. So At the time we kind of thought, oh, maybe I'm having a heart attack. Who knows? I was a fat ass, I was under 500 pounds, but I was at the age and the weight for where a heart attack could be probable and is most likely the cause of what was happening. So we decided to go to the ER. And at first I was kind of reluctant, but then just walking to the car, how difficult it was to get in the car, I realized, okay, maybe it's time to suck it up and get your fat ass to the hospital. So it took me 10 minutes to get in the van. I could barely lift my legs. I was getting in the passenger seat. And as soon as I sat in the seat, my whole upper chest and abdomen area just rolled up towards my neck because of my size of my stomach. And I could barely breathe while we're in the van. So it was really bad. I was struggling. So my wife drove very gently but expediently to the hospital. And every turn, every bump, my insides just like it was like a wave of fluid inside me. It was crazy, and it was very uncomfortable. Rough ride to the hospital. So we get to the ER, and while checking in, they asked me about like chest pain and breathing, and they thought it was could be a heart attack too. So they kind of rushed me into the back, and so they started checking my vitals, and then really quick they kind of realized the shit's going down. So they put a line in me, the fluids. They put the little chest monitors on me, and that was like late afternoon, probably 5 or 6. And when all this was happening, and it's kind of a blur now, um, essentially that night they moved me to the cardiac critical care unit and said I was having congestive heart failure, and that my chest was filling with fluid and it was squeezing my heart and lungs, and basically I was drowning from the inside. And it was pretty scary because that night, my pulse was like 50 something. My blood pressure was 75 over 40. Um, you know, that's really low. And I'm not on blood pressure medication, or at least I wasn't then. I'm not now, but I wasn't on any BP medication now then. But my blood pressure normally for me was like, 135, 140 over 90 or something. So it was slightly elevated for me. But this was really low, 75 over 40. My heart was getting crushed from the inside of my chest. It was struggling to pump the blood through my body. So they noticed my oxygen was really low. It was like in the 70s. So once they started putting fluids in me, they almost intubated me. And I don't remember much from the first few days, but I do remember my wife telling me after I got out, she said the nurses were kind of discussing amongst themselves if they were going to intubate me or not. And they told my wife, her name's Patty, by the way, my beautiful wife. They told Patty that if I was intubated, I had basically a 50-50 chance of surviving. So that was kind of rough for my wife to hear. But she's strong. She's a lot stronger than I am. So she took it in stride, and she never left my side this whole time. Um, so their treatment for me immediately was to get my blood pressure up. I got a cocktail of diuretics and antibiotics because at the time I also was dealing with a skin infection from my lymphedema. So they put me on Lasix, which is a strong, like a loop diuretic, like a water pill. And it basically prevents your body from absorbing too much salt, causing it to be passed, you know, in your urine. So it's a very common thing to give for people who have congestive heart failure because it drains that fluid out of you real quick. So um, I was in the cardiac care unit for 3 days as they're, trying to get this fluid out of me. I had an external catheter, and they were just draining all that fucking fluid in my chest. It was crazy how much fluid they took out of me. And, you know, the whole hospital stay was kind of a blur. I mean, I remember bits and pieces of it, but I was out of it for the first couple of days. I didn't realize that how out of it I was. And this is going to blow your fucking mind. In the 12 days I was there, they took 55 pounds of liquid out of my chest. 55 pounds. Okay, that's a fifth grader. That is absolutely insane. And, you know, I was about 525 when I went into the hospital, and I came out about 470, which is basically the same weight as when I started gaining the fluid a few months before. So I gained all this fluid. They took it out, and I was back at the weight I was. So, so I was in there for 12 days, came very close to dying. And, something I really didn't realize until I was home. And my wife broke down into tears telling me everything that happened while I was out of it. Watching my wife get emotional, something she doesn't do easily, was kind of surreal. I'm getting a little choky thinking about it right now. It, to make light of the situation, it literally broke my already broken heart because my heart was fucked up. So, you know, I mean, I can't imagine the literal fucking basket case I would be if I lost my wife. And I had absolutely no. My wife would have been destroyed by my death, even though she's much stronger than I am, way stronger, and I admire her for that. So, she never left my side this whole time. She was there every step of the way. She's absolutely my rock. So, the aftermath of my near death experience was, according to my cardiologist, basically the pumping strength of my heart was weakened due to the CHF. Um, and it's called port ejection failure, is what I had. So essentially, because your heart's struggling to pump the blood through your body, it actually weakens the heart muscle. And the port ejection is the force with which the blood is pushed through the valves. So my valves were closing a lot gentler than they should be, and there wasn't enough force. The heart wasn't able to push the blood as fast. So basically, I had 75% the left side of my heart port ejection failure. So 25% failure, I had 75% port ejection. So I guess in a sense you could say the left side of my heart was weakened by 25%, which is substantial, especially for somebody my size. Um, and because of that, immediately after, I was still 470. Um, I can't overexert, do any strenuous exercises, and because I'm on uh, furosemide, which is basically Lasix to keep the fluid out of me, I can't drink too much water, or to counteract that, and the fluid might build up again. But you know, I'll always be at a risk for a heart attack, always, because now, not just because of my weight, even though I'm losing weight, but because my heart is now weakened. So something could happen if I'm, you know, strenuous activity, or I'm doing something too hard, or if it's too hot and sweaty. I don't know, but let's just say my heart's at a bigger risk for a heart attack now. So my my kids jokingly, the nickname for me after this is Half Heart. And I love my kids to death. My God, they're so fucking amazing. My kids, I love my kids. I am a lucky man to have what I have, and I I chuckle lovingly every time I hear the Half Heart joke. It's kind of like a new moniker. They call it to me more than Two-Ton, which is obviously, you know my trucker handle that I use on my social media. But you know, the Half Heart joke is I love it, actually. I'll be honest with you. It's it's very affectionate in its own special, you know, in its own special way with my kids. So I'm nothing without my wife and kids. And I know that doesn't sound right saying, "Oh, of course you're something," but no, literally everything I am, who I am as a person now, is because of my family. And um, I know, and what I mean is, I feel I would not have anything as great as them ever with anyone else. It's impossible. What I have is so perfect that I could never find someone who could match what I have with my children. So let's fast forward now to about a year or so ago, late spring 2024. My wife and I decided to sell our house in Florida. We moved up here to Pennsylvania, and we're 2 weeks away from being here a year. Um, so, in the 2 years plus after the heart failure, my weight would go up and down like multiple times, and I'd get down to like 435, and then go back to 480, and then back to 440, and then back to 475. And it did that for a long time. And it was really hard. And even, I continued to struggle with weight up until like selling the house and everything. And we packed up and we moved from Florida to PA, where I genuinely kind of looked at it as like, okay, new house, new scenery, new place, change is good. And I saw it as an opportunity to kind of rekindle a desire to get myself healthy again. So I knew the change of scenery would help me with my weight, and it absolutely has. I can't deny that. So I lost 70 pounds since coming here. Okay, over 70. And I'm down a total of 152 for my heaviest. Yeah, bitch. I say that number and it's crazy. That's a crazy number. I still say it and I'm like, wow, 152 pounds. It's like, I mean, that's like three sixth graders. And that's just an insane amount of weight. But, when I look back now at and knowing all the information from the hospital stay and just how close I came to dying, um, it's a real eye opener. You know, I mean, a lot of people can get really heavy and they don't need some traumatic near death experience to light that fire under their ass to get this shit together. And I procrastinated and I was stubborn and I'm ashamed of all that. I really am, but I'm where I'm at now because of the heart failure. Even though it took a while, I still made it and I'm still going. I'm in a really good place now. I'm under 400 pounds. I'm walking. I'm eating good. Um, and even mentally, I'm a lot stronger. Um, just, you know, the difference in mobility for somebody who was 500 compared to 400 is night and day, and especially 550. You know, um, the atmosphere here, and I don't mean the air, I mean like just being here in Pennsylvania has been really good for us. And it's really helped. It's so gorgeous here. I just want to be out there, hopefully soon, hiking and camping again. Something I did a lot uh, when I was 19 or 20, and I lived in Arizona for a while. I used to love going outdoors. So, I mean, I would love to nothing more than get back out into the world and do active things, and, it's on my list. Lots of things on my list. So, my heart failure was a traumatic experience, indeed. Um, but the real epiphany, the whole reason for this 5-part podcast, the real epiphany, the real reason I kicked my ass into this current final weight loss campaign for my life, that's going to be the next episode. You're going to hear all about it. And that one's actually entitled Epiphany. And that's episode 4, the next one for next week. So I might try and get it uploaded Monday, uh, just in a couple of days instead of next Saturday, um, because I'm starting a new podcast, a different type of podcast on a new Patreon channel that I have, and I'll have the link in the description also. Um, so hopefully I can get that up Monday or Tuesday next week, or the Epiphany, and I can get it up a little sooner. Um, so episode 4 coming soon. Check out all my social media pages; they'll be in the description. Obviously, I'm on Facebook. I don't use X, just because it's a cesspool of insanity. Probably the worst out of all now. Probably worse than Facebook. I used to be on X, but not anymore. So Facebook, I'm on. Obviously, Instagram and TikTok is my main page for all my weight loss videos, but I share a lot of them to my YouTube also. So, but all the links will be in the description here. And I wanted to say something about my Patreon page. So here we go. I just launched a Patreon, and they have different subscriber levels, and I would love to get a lot of paying subscribers to my page for new exclusive content, and the money from that, which is only going to be $5, and it'll never raise. The money from that lowest level contributing dollar amount is going to go to fund the skin removal surgery for me when I lose all my weight. And the way I'm going now, there's absolutely no fucking reason other than being struck by lightning or run over by a garbage truck that I'm not going to hit my goal. I'm absolutely going to hit my goal. I've been killing it, and it's been a little sluggish the last couple of weeks, but I'm good. I'm really good, seriously. So please support and subscribe on Patreon. Share the hell out of this. I'd love for you to come there and become a member, subscriber, and you'll get the new podcast over there and more exclusive content, weight loss tips, advice, an email to contact, and also, um, obviously, just things that are a little different from my social media here. Um, so that's pretty much it. Um, I want to say one other thing. You know, when I got out of the hospital, and they sent me home with this, stupid ventilator machine and the oxygen tanks, and I was walking around the house like, oh my god, I could have a heart attack at any minute. It was the first couple of, I would say, weeks. The first couple of weeks after getting to the hospital, I was absolutely fucking scared out of my mind. I was scared shitless to, like, that I was going to drop dead in the shower while I had the oxygen off of me, and um, it was a really weird, strange sort of time where I was trying. I knew because of this hospital stay from this 12 days that this was a new era in my health. It was like, imagine you're driving down the road and you get a flat tire, and then you're able to walk, get some help, tow truck comes, brings your car, fixes your tire. And then as soon as you drive away from that, you run out of gas. Um, that's what happened. I've been having flat tires my whole fucking life, and this heart failure was I ran out of gas. Literally, just put, and that's it. Side of the road, fucked, absolutely fucked. So this was a big deal for me, a real big deal. And uh, I don't know if any of them are ever going to hear it, but it was Lake Monroe Hospital in Sanford, Florida, about 20 minutes north of Orlando. The cardiac care unit and all the people in that hospital, and my cardiologist and pulmonologist. Um, just want to say thank you. I love you all. Thank you so much for what you did. You brought me back from the dead, and that hospital was absolutely amazing. Um, thank you so much. I spent my birthday in the hospital. It was March. My birthday is March 24th, and I went in there on the 20th. So I was in the hospital for my birthday. So I don't even remember. I don't even remember it. It's crazy. The whole hospital stays a blur. But thank you to the hospital staff, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. So that's about it. The next episode, Epiphany, I'm going to uh, basically talk about. Uh, I'll give you a little hint for it. I watched a movie not long ago, and for the first time in my life, I really felt like an emotional connection to a film that made me bawl like a little bitch, and it really made me reevaluate my goals, my struggles, and it was for the first time the first ever character in a film that I actually identified with. So that's what next week's is going to be about. And that one is titled Epiphany, as I said. And so episode 5 after that, a couple weeks from now, um, that one's entitled Resolve, which will be number 5 of the 5-part series. So after the number 5, I will probably continue these and I'll change the series name and everything. But this 5-part series is essentially all 5 of these podcasts will be able to give someone a really interesting take on one person's weight loss journey and struggles and just everything that's happening and I'm going through. And I hope it will inspire others to, take that step, because every journey starts with a step. It's cliche. Um, it's kind of like Tony Stark said, part of the journey is the end. And for me, the end is getting to my goal weight. And I'm on this journey until I get there. So, on that note, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Watching, of course, for the YouTube. But of course, everybody who's listening in on the streaming sites, thank you so much for listening. Um, Coming to you from the Rebel Command Center in Indiana, Pennsylvania. May the force be with you. Thanks for listening to my bullshit. You're all fucking awesome. Never fucking quit. 2Ton. Out.